Welcome to this week's Kids Connection. This week we go outside again and explore the amazing parks that we have here in the Branson area. We head over to the Recplex and talk with someone that gives us some important information about the parks that we have around this town. You should get out and explore them. We also have some very special features. We talk with our junior reporter and Brad Thomas, president of Silver Dollar City here in Branson, as well as teaching you a little magic trick that you can all do at home. Welcome to this week's Kids Connection. I'm Christopher James. We are out at the Branson Recplex again with Jason out here. What's your title?
I'm the assistant director for the Parks Department.
Okay, so what do you have going on that you would recommend to all of the kids and families that are visiting Branson, watching us right now in hotel rooms or residents around here?
Well, I think one of the greatest things that we have to offer is not just our park system, but the trails we have kind of throughout the city. We're very fortunate in that we have almost 11 miles of established trails in the city. So,
11 miles.
Yeah, it's really pretty neat. When the trail system started back in the early 90s, we started with just over a mile. So
Wow.
We've been able to add about 10 miles of trails in the last 20 years with plans to continue to do more. So that's very exciting for us as you know, as a community in the Midwest that has such beautiful places to visit. You know, being on our trails is just a great place for families to enjoy their time in Branson.
Yeah, they can go out and they can hike on the trails. Now, where are they all a little bit different? I mean, do you have some that are more challenging than others, let's say?
We absolutely do. Some of the major trails we have is first Lakeside Forest. So Lakeside Forest is right at the corner of 76 and Fall Creek Road, almost opposite of Dixie Stampede.
Yeah.
It's a full wilderness area. We have 140 acres out there, and it's an amazing property. We have over 4 miles of trails there, and what's really unique about Lakeside Forest is the trails range from very family friendly that you can take young children on to a little more experienced trails that might be for someone who's a little more of an avid hiker. In fact, we took 75 kids out for our day camp the other day.
75 kids all at once?
75 kids
just
all
by
hiking.
Yourself, just
no,
you.
we had a few other counselors with us, but the great part is we had kids aged 5 to 12, and we had a trail that was appropriate for everybody, and so that was really, really neat. One of the other great things about Lakeside Forest is it was actually a homestead. Mm-hmm. And there's the remains of a 106-year-old home there that we're working on a few projects to do some things there. But a great story that goes along with it. Dr. Owens bought that property in the 30s. Mm-hmm. His family lived there. He did a lot of the work around the property himself, and so it's a very neat historical site as well as being
cool. Do they have like
trail.
little things to tell them about the house?
So at the entry, there's some great information about the trails themselves, but also about Dr. Owens and kind of the history of the property. And you can walk in, see the remains of the house. He built a beautiful stone wall up around his home, and there's also 338 handmade steps that lead from the property all the way down to the lake level that were all built by hand in just over 1 year.
No way. There's no way I would do that.
Well, the good news is one of the great things about the new trails out there, it used to be if you went down the 338 steps, you had to come back up them. We've now added a trail that kind of goes around the park and brings you back up to the top, and you can avoid the stairs.
Well, here's what I'd say. Escalator.
Well,
think of putting in an escalator.
You know,
and if you pave these trails, then people could just drive. No,
one of the things that is, again, really interesting about the property is, in fact, when Mr. Owens or Dr. Owens lived there, they didn't have electricity until he had been there for quite some time. So it's again a very natural area, beautiful scenery to see, and so it's kind of one of our premier trail areas. 338 of them,
handmade. There's no way I know my wife is watching this, and we were trying to put stairs in our backyard to get down to a lower level. We figured we needed 4 or 5 stairs. She said we should just build them, and I said, I think we should keep it natural. So you just have to work your way down.
Well, and the amazing part about it is they're all stone. So
Yeah.
the stone was carried to the site.
No, thank
They
you.
mortared them together, built them all by hand. And again, it took, there's actually a sign that they'd actually carved into the cement where they had kind of started and finished. And it took just over a year. So I can't even imagine building 338
No,
stairs.
thank you. No.
On an incline about like this in 1 year.
Well, you have that one. What are some of the other trails that you have?
So one of the other really great areas we have is the Roark Creek Trail. And so the Roark Creek Trail, you can pick up in a few different places. And pretty soon we're hopeful that we'll actually be able to pick it up all the way down by the landing. We've got a short section that we're going to try to complete, hopefully summer, fall, to extend. We've only got about 700 feet that we need to pave. And you would actually at that point be able to take it all the way from the landing down all the way through Stockstill Park, across the footbridge on the other side of the creek, and then back and wind around through there. So it has the potential to be a great trail.